What's going on, guys? Aero here, and welcome back to another video. Now in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about some features for the brand new Nintendo Switch model that could be coming out later this year. Now for a while now, one of the biggest rumors that we've heard about is that Nintendo is working on a brand new Switch model behind the scenes that we're calling the Nintendo Switch Pro, basically a more powerful Nintendo Switch model that a lot of people are predicting could actually be coming out later this year in 2021. And we've actually gotten some potential information about what this updated model could even have in terms of features right from the official Nintendo Switch firmware, which has like code names of these brand new Nintendo Switch models and some of the features that they could have. I made a video about this already, so if you guys haven't seen that video, there should be a little eye up in the corner right now if you want to go ahead and watch that video and see what these new Nintendo Switch models could have in terms of features right from the official Nintendo Switch firmware. I'll also put this video in the outro if you guys want to watch it after you're done watching this one. But in this video, I want to talk to you guys about, in my personal opinion, some features that I would love to see on a brand new updated Nintendo Switch Pro model. So I've got a list of 5 things here, and these things aren't rumored or confirmed to happen, but they're just a list of 5 things that I feel like would make a lot of people happy if they came with an updated Nintendo Switch Pro model. So yeah, let's get started. Alright, so the first thing that we've got here coming in at number 5 is an Ethernet port. Now the Nintendo Switch has a lot of online focused games like Splatoon 2 as well as Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and for people who really want to have the best possible connection and ensure that they get the best experience when playing these games online, they really want to go for having a wired connection with their Nintendo Switch. Now pretty much every video game system already comes with an Ethernet port on the back of the system. The PlayStation 5 has it, the Xbox Series X has it. However, the Nintendo Switch does not have an Ethernet port, and for a lot of games that are using this online and people wanting to have the best experience, I really do think that if a Nintendo Switch Pro is coming, since it's going to be geared towards like the hardcore Nintendo fans and like people who really want to get the best experience out of their games, it should definitely come with an Ethernet port. Now, I'm not talking about an Ethernet port on the actual Switch itself, but I really do think that the Nintendo Switch dock should have an Ethernet port on the back, especially like right where you put in the HDMI and the AC adapter. There definitely should be a little slot there for an Ethernet cable as well so that you can plug it in and then plug it right into your router. But I feel like Nintendo's not going to do it because if you guys didn't know, Nintendo actually sells an Ethernet adapter with USB that you can put on the back of your Switch for like an additional $30. So I'm sure they're going to want to keep making money off of that, so they're not going to put an Ethernet port so that they can continue to sell that. But man, I really do think that it should have an Ethernet port. It would really help people playing online games, and a lot of people just don't want to spend another $30 to buy an adapter, so it would be nice if it actually came with one. Alright, coming in at number 4 is going to be Bluetooth, and if you guys didn't know, surprisingly the Nintendo Switch already has Bluetooth in it, but it's only enabled for special Nintendo accessories like the Pro controllers and the JoyCons, but you can't really use it with any Bluetooth accessory that you want. However, I'm sure that you guys know that in this age, we're really moving forward in terms of having like an all wireless future in terms of earbuds and headphones, and a lot of people are getting more and more used to using wireless headphones and earbuds and are carrying those around with them instead of actual wired earbuds. And right now, the Nintendo Switch is like one of the big mobile devices where you can't really use wired headphones or wired earbuds really easily with the system. See, whenever I go anywhere, I usually just have my AirPods with me in my pocket, and I can easily connect with those to my phone or my laptop and be able to listen to music or watch a video or something. However, the Nintendo Switch is like one of those mobile devices that I have with me, but I can't really connect my wireless headphones or my AirPods to that system pretty easily without having to buy some sort of adapter or something like that. So I would really want a Nintendo Switch Pro to finally have just Bluetooth enabled so that we can connect AirPods or wireless headphones and be able to like listen to the games while we're playing them on the go. It would be really nice. And I would want this to work with docked mode as well, so like if you're playing late at night and you don't want to disturb people, you can still play the game on your TV and then just have all the music from the game coming into your headphones. Alright, so for number 3, we've got the thing that I feel like most people would want from a Nintendo Switch Pro, and that is more power and performance. Obviously, the Nintendo Switch right now is not like the most powerful system that's out there, and in terms of third-party games, it's really kind of falling behind because a lot of third-party games are not being able to be supported now with the Nintendo Switch because now we're moving into the next generation, and obviously the Nintendo Switch is not going to reach the performance of like the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X, but for people now who are developing games on those systems, it's going to be very hard to bring those games onto a system like the Nintendo Switch, so it would really be nice if there was a more powerful Nintendo Switch Pro that actually had some better performance so that it would be easier for third parties to bring those games over onto the Nintendo Switch Pro and even help some of Nintendo's games run better, because I recently finished playing Age of Calamity and that game was pretty fun, but there were definitely some parts of that game where the FPS was really dropping and the game was kind of stuttering, so it would be nice to have a Nintendo Switch now where it's actually a little bit more powerful and we can get a stable frame rate and the game looks a little bit better. Alright, then for number 2, we've got a better screen. Now the Nintendo Switch screen already is pretty good. It's a 720p screen and it's made out of plastic, which actually makes it very durable. There's been videos of people banging the Nintendo Switch screen with a hammer and nothing happens to it, and that's actually really good because of how it's made with plastic. However, it would look even better if it actually had a different panel, maybe made out of glass, or like if it was using OLED, like kind of what's been rumored. But having a glass panel could look really nice because the images would look much sharper and clearer. It would definitely have much more vibrant colors and a brighter display, so it would be really nice. However, the downside to this is that there's kind of like two problems that you always have with a panel, and the thing is, if you really focus on one thing, then the other thing goes down. And of course, the two things that I'm talking about here are scratch resistance and shatter resistance. So the thing about both of these properties is that they're kind of inversely related, so whenever you raise one of them, the other one goes down. So like for example, if you have a really scratch resistant screen, it's most likely going to be made out of a hard type of glass, because glass is pretty hard to scratch. You can get like your keys or something and start scratching on glass and it's not really going to leave a lot of marks or scratches on there. However, that makes it pretty shatterable because now you can drop that screen, and because it's made out of glass, you can easily crack it and get some shatters on it. But at the same time, if you really want to make a shatter resistant panel, then you kind of use like that hard plastic like the Nintendo Switch has right now, where you can drop that Nintendo Switch right now on concrete and it's not going to shatter into a million pieces. However, it's really easy to scratch the Nintendo Switch screen. I'm sure you've seen images of people scratching their Nintendo Switch screen just from putting it into the dock, where it kind of like slides against the plastic of the dock and scratches the screen. So it's kind of the problem with both of these things, where like if you raise one of them, the other one goes down. However, I do think that if Nintendo is marketing this towards like the hardcore players, then having a glass panel really wouldn't be that big of a deal, and especially if they could even raise it and have like a 1080p display on it, I'm sure games would look really pretty on it, and it would be really nice to even have some way to upscale games when you're playing it in docked mode, and you could have 4K games, like be able to have 4K upscaling. That would just be really nice. And finally, coming in at number 1 is going to be metal joysticks, or just better joysticks on the JoyCons and the actual system. Now by now, I'm sure a lot of you guys know that one of the biggest problems that the Nintendo Switch has is Joy-Con drift. And even if you've never heard of that before, I'm sure that you've probably experienced it, where if you're playing a game, you're not even touching the controller, but like Link in Breath of the Wild is just running by himself, or if you're on the home screen, it's kind of scrolling through all your games on your Nintendo Switch, even though you're not touching the Joy-Con or you're not touching a Pro Controller at all. And this happens from like dirt kind of getting underneath the joysticks, and this has been a pretty big problem ever since the Nintendo Switch first released. And even the Nintendo Switch Mini or the Nintendo Switch Lite, which came out a few years ago, has actually had the same issues. So I would really want the Nintendo Switch Pro to finally just fix this issue, have some better joysticks on there, use a new joystick design that's not going to have drifting on there, because this is definitely one of the biggest issues with the Nintendo Switch. And I've actually seen people say that they really want to buy a Nintendo Switch, but they don't want to because they don't want their Joy-Cons to become unusable within a couple of months. So that's why they're kind of waiting to see if Nintendo can finally fix this issue. So I'm really hoping that the Nintendo Switch Pro tries to use a different type of joystick design, or just a way that finally fixes the drifting issue. And so yeah, there you go guys, those are 5 features that I would really love to have on a Nintendo Switch Pro. If you guys enjoyed this video, then please be sure to click that like button, and also comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of this. Do you guys agree with some of these features? What are some features that you would love to see on a Nintendo Switch Pro? Definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know. If you're new to this channel, then please be sure to subscribe. I'm definitely going to have some more Nintendo content in the future, so definitely be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Click on that bell to become a part of the notification squad. Go follow me on Twitter at Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.